Hey guys, welcome, welcome. We'll get started shortly here. Welcome. Hey guys, welcome, welcome. Welcome everyone. We'll get started shortly here. Hey guys, hey Bill, welcome. Hey Kim, welcome.
Hey, David.
Hello, hello. Hey Travis, welcome guys.
David.
Welcome, welcome. Hope you guys had a great weekend. We'll get started shortly. Welcome guys, welcome, welcome. We'll get started shortly here.
For so many tough shots by Arkansas for the better part of this game.
Welcome guys, welcome, welcome. We'll get started shortly. Welcome guys, welcome, welcome. All right, guys, we'll go ahead and get started. You guys should see my shared screen. The 4 market phases that every trader must know. So if you guys don't have that screen, go ahead and take a picture of it. I would recommend you print it out and laminate it. All right. The 4 market phases that every trader must know. All right. So again, you guys should have this already. If not, print it out, laminate it for your records. Okay. We are going to go through Forex, Forex and crypto. So let's share my screen here. All right, so you guys should see my screen, my trading screen. Do you guys see that? Monster Scalper there at the top.
Yep, we should.
All right, awesome, awesome. So, well, let's do this first. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. We'll start off with Bitcoin here. So The news is, guess what? We've got new support and resistance lines on Bitcoin on the daily time frame. So these are new lines that just came in as the market opened. So as the market opened right at 5, so right at 5 o'clock, we've got new support and resistance lines. Purpose support and resistance lines, guys. So we are still in the markdown phase. All right, this is the dollar time frame. So we're still in the markdown phase for Bitcoin on the daily time frame. So what this means, we should not be buying. So we should not be in Bitcoin. Okay, long. We can be short, but not long. All right. So markdown phase. If we break this support line right here, all right, then guess what? We can go lower. All right, so let's draw our support line right here. If you guys look here, I hope you guys can see this. We've got a perfect support here. Here is support. Here is support right at 40,000. And remember, Bitcoin like those whole numbers. So 40,000 right here, 40,000 right here. We'll wait to see what happens, right? If we can get consolidation in here, all right, buying come in, we can see a move like this higher. So we would need, before we do anything at all, guys, before we do anything at all, and I get calls from traders all the time saying, hey, is Bitcoin, Bitcoin had a big intraday move. Should we get in? And the answer is no, we do not want to get in until we see green candles like this buying coming in. All right. And then a blue buy signal, this blue arrow right here, buy signal. So the sellers are definitely in control, guys. All right. They're still selling in Bitcoin. Again, here is support. Here is support right at 40,000. All right. Based on the price action here, based on the price action, we could see a move lower. Okay. We could see a move lower, break support, and perhaps get down to the 30,000 range. Okay. So right now, Bitcoin is just holding right here, but sellers are still in control. Sellers are still in control. Any questions on this? This is important. Any questions on this? Any questions on Bitcoin? No questions? Okay, so let's move forward. All right, so let's take a look at Forex. All right, Forex, we still see nice selling. Okay, so we should be shorting the dollar pairs, shorting the dollar pairs, shorting the yen pairs. We've got new opportunities, okay, on the short side for the dollar, for the yen pairs. All right, if you guys miss the moves, if you guys miss the moves in the dollar pairs, all right, you don't want to chase them. All right, you don't want to chase them. These dollar pairs have been running for a while. So if you're in them, great, you're doing really well. All right, if you missed it, if you missed the run, right, don't chase them, wait for the next move. All right, to the upside. Okay, so if you've missed these moves, just wait. All right, however, we're starting to see new moves, right, in the yen pairs. So here is pound yen, right? CAD yen, okay? We're waiting for a sell short signal here in CAD yen. So keep an eye, guys, keep an eye on your yen pairs. All right, let's take a look at the Aussie pairs. Okay, you might start to see a move in the Aussie pairs later this week. All right, to the downside, here is Aussie Cad. All right, so I would anticipate, watch Aussie Cad, guys. Watch Aussie Cad for a sell short signal. All right, it already had a great trade to the short side. Okay, Aussie Cad. Did someone trade Aussie Cad? Who traded Aussie Cad?
I did, David. I'm still in it short.
Oh, you still in it? Okay, perfect.
Still in this
Okay,
one short. My entry was 0.92438.
0.92438. Okay, good job. Good job. So right about here. Okay, very good, very good. All right, and you still in it?
Still in it.
Okay, it's looking good. So it looks good to break this this support right here. And you might get some support all the way down here, Cam. So all the way down here, you should get some support right down in this area here. All right. I want to take a quick look at the higher time frame on this pair just to see how far we might go down. So let's take a look at the weekly time frame. Was this the one we looked at that we said if it breaks this support area here, it could go lower? Was this the one, Kim?
Yep, that's the one.
That's the one. Okay, so good job, man. So you still in it. So watch for this area here, okay, for support. And then your larger support is this area in here. So the largest support is this area here. If it breaks this support, watch out. You could really get a nice move to the downside. All right. This is the weekly time frame. So you got strong support right here, right at 8829, right? 8829 is right here. Is strong support. If you break this area here, right, you can get a nice quick move to the downside. All right. So good job with that. All right. The top leading pairs right now are still the dollar pairs, guys. And we talk about this a lot. If we're not in those top pairs, right, we're missing the boat, right? If we're not in the top trending pairs, we're missing the boat. All right. 1 second here. Let me change this back. All right, 240. So good move here, Cam. All right, guys, if you notice here, look at this, right? These are the top trending pairs right now in Forex. So here's one of the dollar pairs, another dollar pair, right? Here's another dollar pair, another dollar pair. Here's another one, USD-ZAR, another one here, USDC, CNH, USD PLN. All these are dollar pairs, guys. These are the top leading pairs, top trending pairs. USDC, dollar CAD here, dollar Swiss, all right, pound dollar. So all of these pairs, guys, dollar SEK, dollar NOK, all these pairs except for one here, okay, only one here. All of the rest of these pairs here are dollar pairs. So these are the pairs right here. These are the pairs that we should be in. If we're not in these pairs, we've missed the boat, right? We've missed the run in these pairs. Now, it's too late to get in, right? If you've gotten in, if you did not get in, it's too late. Now, this particular trade here, once it gives a sell short signal, right? Here was the first one. And good job, Kim. You stayed in it. But guess what? If it gives another sell short signal, that might be an opportunity. But guess what? We've missed a lot of that run already. All right, we've missed a lot of that run already. So we want to be concerned. If we are not from week to week, guys, if we are not in the top trending pairs, right? You need to reassess what you're doing. You guys need to get with me, all right? If we need to do additional training, additional coaching, whatever we need to do to get you guys trading these top pairs right here, all right? They will change, okay? Perhaps another a week from now, 2 weeks from now, we'll have another rotation and we'll have a different group of pairs up in this area here. So that's your cue to know that if you're not in these pairs that are trending up here, we don't want to be in the pairs down here. All right. Now, this might be setting up. Okay, so it's okay to be in these pairs that are setting up, but boy, we want to be definitely in these pairs, have our capital working in these pairs. All right, and then look for opportunities, have the majority of your capital here working for you, and then you can start looking for pairs that are moving up for the next rotation. That's what we want to do. And we want to be very consistent in doing that every single week. Every single week. Okay.
Hey, David.
Yes.
Hey, David, can you bring up the chart on the US dollar, Japanese yen, then bring it up on the dollar, Polish zloty, and then the dollar CAD?
Okay, so the dollar
yen first.
Okay, so dollar yen. Okay, you got out of this, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay. All right. Did you have a comment on this one, Cam?
No, I just wanted to see where it was, whether or not there was a reversal in that yet, as far as buy signal in this, even though we've had a little of a bounce, not yet.
Yeah, not yet. Now, based on how these pairs are moving, we might get a move back down. Okay, we might get a move back down. All right, and retest this area down in here. But we never know. We don't know, right? But from what we're seeing, they're still selling. They're still selling. And then which one, Cam? Which other one?
US dollar, Polish zloty.
Give me the symbol.
USD PLN.
PLN. Okay.
Paul, Larry, Nancy.
Okay. Are you in this one?
No, I was looking at that one and I'm way too late to short it.
Yeah, this is
And
very.
matter of fact, that one may reverse and start moving up.
Yeah, it's too late. No, we're not going to catch all of these, but just know that that's where we need to be. This is where we need to be. So let's take a look at this here. So here is support right here, guys. Here is support. All right. So the last time, so let's draw out our resistance. So that's support. Here is resistance right here. This is resistance right here. All right. So we're starting to get buying coming in, guys. Here is where it held support. And now, watch this for a second here. So this is the last time it held support in this area in here. It's doing it again right here. All right. It's doing it again right here. Right, so we got a big candle last time right here, big candle last time. So guess what? It's making its way back up to this resistance, right? It's making its way back up to this area in here. Once we start getting green candles, okay, watch out, because guess what? We could get a buy signal, kind of like this, a buy signal to go higher again. All right, so those of you who missed the short trade here, all right, do not get discouraged when we're trading, right? We don't want to get discouraged. If you miss this trade, so like Cam, you missed this trade, right? No big deal. No big deal. Just wait for it, right? Wait for it. And we want to wait for the next move to the upside. As we know, these pairs don't go down forever and they don't go up forever. All right, so I would be watching for this area here. Go ahead and draw in. Don't trade yet. Don't take any trades yet to the long side. All right, we know that it's dropped quite a bit. Wait for a good trigger, guys. A good trigger is this. All right, you'll know when it's getting ready to the long side because it will close its short trade here. So just like this, here's the short signal right here. It closed the short trade right here. When it closes this short trade, which could happen soon, right? Start watching for the buy-in to come in. Start watching for the buy-in to come in on your long system right here. Okay, just like this right here. And then we want to take it all the way back up. All right, so those of you who missed the short trade right here, just wait. No big deal. No big deal, right? We'll have an opportunity to move up to the long side on these. And what we want to see is these dollar pairs, you know, they might make one more move to the downside and start consolidating. And then guess what? We'll move up. Okay, we'll start moving up. All right, Kim, was there another trade you wanted to take a look at?
USD CAD.
Dollar CAD?
Yep.
All right, let's take a look here. Dollar CAD on the short side. All right, so same thing here. All right, now again, you still might get a move to the downside, guys. They're not done yet, okay? So just like this here, so we have to wait. Just like this move here, this retracement here, white candle, price came all the way back down, broke this support line right here. Same thing is happening right here. All right, and we gap down a bit. All right, so price is moving lower here. Okay, so price is moving lower. We got a red candle here. All right, on Friday, and guess what? We're moving down. We could test this support. So they're not ready to go long, but I would just be careful. Are you in this one, Kim?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
No, just looking at it right now.
Just looking at it. Good job. Start monitoring this. So even if you're in some of these, start watching, anticipating, waiting for the next move to the upside. Remember, the farther these pairs fall to the downside, the larger the move will be to the upside. Okay. All right. Okay. Any other pairs, Kim?
Last one is USD Swiss franc. So USD CHF.
The dollar Swiss. Okay. All right. Dollar Swiss, dollar Swiss. Same thing here. So you guys are starting to see a pattern here, guys, a pattern here with these pairs. Now they've given us some great opportunities to the downside, right? So great opportunities to make some money here, but guess what? They're holding support. So they're starting to give us some support. So here is support here. Here is resistance right here. Here is previous resistance right here. Here we got pretty decent support right here, support right here, support right here. So price held. Now it's moving higher. So we want to be anticipating the moves here. All right. And hopefully get a buy signal, kind of like this here, to move higher. Okay. So start watching for these pairs, guys. Start watching the dollar pairs. Okay, it's still very early, but you see how Kim is tracking these pairs. He's starting to track these pairs, right? So as you guys know, I always say, hey, if Kim is watching it, you guys want to watch it too, right? He's been doing this for a while. All right, so he's starting to track these pairs. So where most traders, guys, are looking to short these pairs. So let me show you guys here. All right. So I always talk about this, right? We're like lions, guys. We're like lions, and we're stalking these pairs, right? We're patiently waiting. All right. Patiently waiting. So where most traders, right? So we want to do the opposite of what the other traders are doing out there. So where most traders are looking, they're still looking to go short in these pairs here. All right, we want to be waiting, right? Waiting. So they've dropped quite a bit, right? Buy low, sell high, right? So they've dropped quite a bit. We don't want to keep short in here. We don't want to buy here because the buyers are not in. Red candles, right? We're below red candles. We've got a short signal here. We're below the red moving average right here. So we can't short anymore. It's dropped quite a bit. Our next position would be to hold, wait for the buying to come in. We need proof that the buyers are in by these by these green candles here. We'll get a buy signal, kind of like this here, a buy signal. right? This right here, and start moving to the upside. All right, so we want to be watching these pairs patiently. All right, so Kim, that was the last one, right?
Yes, that was the last one.
Okay, does anyone else wants to see any pairs? Anyone else?
David, it's a question for Cam and you.
Okay.
I was looking at the USD JPY.
Mhm.
Is it start reversing as yet, or is just that pullback candle on the 4-hour? It's just saying that buyer is starting to take over or something.
Let's take a look here. Okay, so which phase is it in? Which phase is it in right now? Which phase? Anyone? Which phase is it in? Which phase is it in?
Markdown.
It's in the markdown, right? It's in the markdown phase. Okay, so okay, when we see the price, we have a short signal right here, so we should have been short in this. Okay, now when we see the price like this, guys, when we see the price falls like this without, and we don't have any support and resistance lines, okay, that means the price can definitely go lower. So we have zero support and resistance lines, kind of like this here. Okay, so this is like a falling knife, so there's nothing to do. There's nothing to do, right? We can't add to it. This would have been our initial position right here. So here, would have been our initial position right here, right? We can't even take a second position because it's not in the redistribution phase. So there's nothing we can do here. There's nothing we can do. We just wait. All right.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Any other pairs you guys want to take a look at? Any other pairs? Anyone? Okay, watch for the yen pairs, guys. Watch for the yen pairs, okay? However, especially pound yen, we've got a short signal to go down, right? We've got a short signal to go down. I think this might be short-lived, right? So you can take a short position on it, okay? But the real move, right? The real move is to the upside. All right, so here's the
David.
yes.
Hey, David, this is Brian. I got a question for you.
Hey, Brian. Hey, Brian. How you doing, buddy?
Hey. So when we're looking at this this pound yen here, so we just know it just pretty much came out of a nice uptrend, and we know just from what it's done that the buyers are basically taking a break.
Yes.
Or we think, okay? So we know we're right now could possibly either be in a distribution phase since it's been going up. But that's a lot of demand that, was used. So you said something key here. You said, okay, we got a sell signal.
Yes.
And you said, I don't think it's going to do that. Well, quite naturally, what we've been studying or looking at is the Wyckoff method. And looking at that, we know that that's going to range. Now, we don't know how long, but we know that that's going to range. So I guess, if you wasn't aggressive, want to be an aggressive type, and take action on that sales signal, if you wanted to be conservative, the last lower high, if you go left to the left there.
Right here?
The last, go over to your right. Go over to your right, right in there, that last lower high. Go down a little bit. Down a little bit. Okay, that's considered, go to the right, right there. That's considered the last lower high. So for price to really start to head down will take advantage of this distribution phase and start heading into a markdown phase, you would want to wait till price past that point, or either pass it, come back to it, and then go out again. On the conservative side. Now, being aggressive, you would enter now, but aggressive, I would think you're going to be ranging for a pretty good while. Plus, looking at your chart, pound yen is only at what is that, 1653? So it's going to be ranging probably for a good while. So
Well, okay.
that's something that I would just be watching, like really watching. And I wouldn't personally, I've been doing this, for about a year now, and have been burned by jumping in too early. I just find it better for me to wait till it gets past that last lower high. Now, that doesn't mean it's always going to go down, but I have found much more success in trading for me. If I was to wait for this to go down, it would pass that last lower high.
So you would, okay, and that's a good point. Okay, so your entry, if you were looking to get short, so let's run through this. So if you were looking to get short, your short signal would be rather than here where the system gave a sell signal on this breakup support right here, you would wait for a breakup support right here.
Correct. Reason being, because your system is telling me, okay, you're not in the 20s in your system, number one. Number two, based on what we've been studying for the last 6 months here, is Wyckoff method, we know that that's pretty much in a ranging phase down to that point. So you got the resistance that we're looking at up there, those two highest points, that's going to be your resistance line. And that last lower high is probably a solid support for a conservative entry. But if you want to get in now, I think you're going to get whiplash. And and you're going to probably be whiplash for a pretty good while. If you look at the history of what pound yen has been doing, if you just look back, go down, if you just look to your left, the lowest part of your chart there, look how long it was ranging in the past. It ranged from November 25th all the way up to for a whole month before it took off.
Yeah.
So it's probably going to range. It's probably going to range for another whole month before it starts going down. That's just some of the things that I've learned, using this system in the past. I hope this helps some of the new people on here. Some of the things you can look out for, because I was very impatient in the past. And I used to get in early a lot, and I didn't find a lot of success with that. So this system gives off signals in the ranging phase, as you can see, but also it gives off signals in the markup phase and in the markdown phases. And I think as a group, if we're patient, pound yen runs pretty well. And I think in about a month's time, it'll give us the markdown that we're looking for. If it decides to go down, I think that's when it'll give us that markdown.
Very good. Very good. And that's why I like having experienced traders like Brian has been with us for a while. Kim has been with us for a while. So a lot of the stuff that sometimes they talk about is more advanced. Okay, and I'll go over what Brian is referring to. Okay, when you guys are new, just take the signal. Okay, take the signal. After you get savvy, and now you'll have losses, kind of like this right here. And this is what Brian is saying right here, right? Got in on a break. You're right. If you take the trade, right? If you take the trade, you might get a move like this and be forced out of the trade. All right.
Right.
So what Brian is saying is this, right? Wait. Okay, he's waiting for this pullback. This is a lot like what Ricky does. Okay, so rather than putting a stop loss in here, right? Rather than getting in the trade right here, he's going to wait for the price to come back down, okay, to hit this support. Then he knows, kind of like here, guys, okay, kind of like here, that the sellers are really in. and now he can get in, kind of like a cup and handle. So price generally 80 to 90% of the time, okay, after the price breaks support, you're going to get a pullback. All right, you're going to get a pullback, kind of like this, right? A pullback, right? And we could call this liquidity, right? So all the hedge funds, all the big banks, they're trying to get a lower price. Yes, they're looking to get you out, but most importantly, they're trying to get a lower price up in this area here before they take the trade down in the direction that they want to take it, kind of like here. Here is our sell short signal right here. They pulled the price all the way back up. Now, guess what? You're going to take a loss sometimes when this happens. Not all the time, but sometimes, right? It's going to force us out of the trade until the price comes back down and goes in the direction of the overall move that they were looking to do. All right, so here was our first trade here. We got stopped out. So this is what Brian is saying. Hey, he doesn't want to take this loss right here. He's going to wait, okay, so that the price shows, okay, that it's really going down, and then get out. That's a more advanced. You guys can do it, but it's more advanced, okay?
Yeah,
so,
because I don't mean to cut you off, David, because we know in order for this thing to go down, the banks, they got to go get money to take it down. They got to go get money from who? From you and I, from everybody's on this phone.
Yep.
They got to go get money. So what they're going to do? What are they going to do now? They're gonna fake us out. They're gonna say, okay, boom, let's start taking this thing down a little bit close to this last little high to trick these guys and say we're going down. And that's how they create money for themselves. And then they turn around and take it back up, and they might take it back up past resistance and bring it back into the range, and then decide to take it down. But right now, they got to go and create money.
Yep.
So however long that takes, whether it's just basic supply and demand economics, or if something fundamentally happens in Germany or Great Britain or whatever, it determines how that thing moves. So if there's nothing fundamentally happening, then they got to go out and create money to make this thing move. And the way they're going to make money is to trick us, to trick me and you, to take our money, to get in early, and then turn around and take it back the other way and trick us again before they decide to really go down. Yeah. This thing is possibly going to go down because demand has already happened. Now, they can demand more, but demand has already happened. Demand, what I mean by is going up, is green. I mean, demand is there now. They want supply to come in. And so it's right now at this point, they got to create money some kind of way to take this thing down. So they got to take our money.
Yeah, very good point. Very good point. Yeah. So guys, yes. So that's now that doesn't mean, and we need to always be aware of this. It doesn't happen all the time. Kind of like this trade right here, right? Okay, kind of like this trade. But yes, and always anticipate, always, even on the long side. So on the long side, so let's take a look at pound yen on the long side. Let's see if we did it, right? So here's a good example here. Here's a good example, okay? And when you get to the point where you can do this, okay? Now what you're going to do is maximize your trading. So what Brian is saying is this, right? This first buy signal here, don't take it. Let price move higher. He's going to anticipate a pullback, right? All right, where the banks, they're gonna get a cheaper price. They want a cheaper price. They want to get us out of the trades if we have any stop losses here. So what he's saying is this: don't take this loss. Now, for new traders, I'm gonna tell you guys, this is because what I see a lot of traders will do if you're not savvy at doing this. All right, if you haven't been doing this long, right, you might get caught up and miss some trades. But if you're really savvy, like Brian is saying, don't take the first trade here, right? You have to be patient. Let it go. Let the first signal go. Now, if it gets away from you, you've got to let it go, right? And you might be able to get back in the reaccumulation phase. Okay.
Well, David, if we let it go, that's a great point too. If you let it go, then just wait on support support and resistance line. Just wait till it gives support and resistance like it did, and then enter when it goes past resistance, because you know it's in the markup phase. It gave you another signal. It's going up. It's in the markup phase. It gave you another little resting point right there. It broke resistance, so there's your entry. So that's a good little bit of money right there you can make right there still on that trade.
Yeah, and what you're doing, guys, what you're doing is you're minimizing your losses, maximizing. So basically what you're doing is you're waiting for more confirmation, real confirmation that is solid in the markup phase. Okay, in the markup phase. All right. But just be concerned that, hey, you might miss it. All right, you might miss it. However, you will get opportunities. You have to wait for your new support and resistance lines. So this might be, you might get to the point where, yes, you're missing this trade, but guess what? This might be where you take most of your trades on the second buy on a break of resistance. So you might miss all of this right here. You might miss this right here because you're waiting for at least a break of resistance in the markup phase, the second position here. And that's what he's really saying. He's waiting for the second buy. Okay. Yep. He's waiting for the second buy. So he's not taking this buy right here. He's going to wait somewhere in here where he will get new support and resistance. Let's say it breaks a new support down in this area here is really what Brian is saying. Okay, so here's your first support and resistance, your first support. So his next support, and we know his next support is right here, right? This might be his resistance here. It gets down in this area here. Here would be his entry. So it's just a much safer trade.
Just a extra confirmation, like an extra confirmation.
Good job, Brian. Good job, Brian.
Just an extra confirmation in case there's a pullback, because if you get a pullback, then you're just making sure in case they do pull back, that is not kicking you out or stopping your trade or taking your money. So you're saying, I'm not going to put my sell signal there. I'm gonna wait for the second confirmation in case there's a pullback, I don't kind of lose my money. Is that what you're saying?
Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah. In a sense, yes. But and even if the pullback kicked me out, let's say I get in on the second signal, okay, and I thought it was going down, and the pullback kicked me out because I set a stop. Okay, I set stops. Okay, and the pullback kicks me out. I'm going to get right back in because I know that this thing is probably going to still go down. Okay, well, I feel like it based on the confluences that I've been, dealing with or looking at this trade. Okay, I got David's system probably showing me above 20. I got a signal here. I see it. It's been in a range for a month or 3 weeks. I'm gonna take that trade. Let me just take that trade. If it gets me, it gets me, but I'm gonna take this trade because there's been a lot of demand. I can throw up a trend line or something like that to see, okay, if it crosses this trend line, I'm definitely, just stuff like that. But it would still be a trade I would take on that second. This is me talking though, personally, me. And you all gotta, even with the system, you gotta have develop your own strategy. But that's just me thinking, if it gives me this, if it gives me this, if it gives me this, I'm taking it. I'm not thinking any further. Okay, I'm taking it. Whatever happens, happens. Next, what can I look for next? That's kind of my mentality.
Okay, guys. What Brian is doing, what Cam does, what Ricky does, is they use the system, and this is what I want you guys to do, right? You use the system, but then there's some tweaks, there's some tricks you can do. All right, there's some tricks you can do to minimize your losses, maximize your opportunity. Okay, and that's the goal. right? You want to minimize your losses. So the system is there. It's gonna do the same thing over and over and over. Think of it as a guide. It's just a guide, right? But then within the system, and that's how trading is, within the system, there's some things you can do, okay, to maximize your returns. Like Cam went short here, okay? Because he's been doing it a while, just like Brian, okay? Cam got in here, right? He got in before the sell short signal. And guess what? Cam is out of this trade, right? So he got in here. I think he got out somewhere in here, right, Cam? Did you get out somewhere in here? In this area? Where did you get in? What price out?
I'll tell you exactly here. Hang on. My short entry was at 15,367.
Okay, so right up here, okay.
15,115,367. So right below your sell signal.
Okay.
I'll drop it a little bit lower. Yeah, 15,115,367. So you got to go up. You got to go up from that. Go up. Yeah,
I thought it was in this. Yeah, I thought it was in this area here. Yeah, 367. So right up in this area, right?
Yeah, so right below that 115.500, right below that.
Okay.
Yeah, right below that. And then my exit was 113,731. So right below the below point, your bottom is 113.500. Mine 113,731. A little bit lower than that.
Yeah, right here. So you see that, guys? So he got in, went short before the sell short signal. And guess what? We don't have an exit signal, but guess what? He got in. And that just comes from experience. What Brian is doing comes from experience.
Hey, David.
Uh-huh.
So if Kim don't mind, can he share with us what made him take that trade before the signal?
Okay.
I think that'll help a lot. That'll help me as Fred, as well as a lot of the new people, because just looking at this chart right now, we see what USDA JPY has done. It was going up. It hit a resistance. It started coming back down. Okay. So this is kind of a sort of a range, whatever the case you may look to be. So what made you take that trade?
What made me take that trade was we had the meeting here, and I had just got out of my long trade. My long trade in the USD JPY, I got in on 12/13, and that was 114,284, and I got out at 115.582, and that was on 1/9. When I entered my short trade, that was on 110. The very next day, I looked at this, and I looked at it on a shorter time frame. You know, keeping in mind the 240, and keeping in mind also the daily trend on this one right here, which I took a look at as well. But as soon as I got out of that long position, I got into the short position. So that's what triggered it.
Got you.
Yeah, now sometimes too, guys, I just get fortunate. What'll happen is we'll have a class and I'll see David's signal, and David's signals will be in, and you have your normal volatility. Sometimes I'll be able to get in at a little bit better price. Just a little bit better price. Because with David's signals, we look at it, he looks for a close below or above a support and resistance points. But sometimes, you know, you get a little fluctuation and you're able to get just a little bit better entry sometimes.
Very good.
Yep, good stuff.
Because even if you go back, okay, leave this chart up, David. If you go back and you look at the date on 12/17, I mean, I'm sorry, yeah, 12/7 rather, 12/7. You see how you got that buy signal there? Okay, if you had an entry and yeah, that buy signal by 12/7, okay. Depending on, you know, that looks like when you exited out of there, let's say you got in right when he got his buy signal. By the time we had our class, and by the time you actually put your trade on, you may have gotten that just a little bit better than his buy signal, just because of the normal fluctuation of the candles.
Right.
You know, we see those moving averages reversing, starting to go to the upside when you look at the green line and the red one. And then we got that short signal, and then we turned around and we got a long signal again. But sometimes, based on when we actually have the class, you know, you may even get in at a little bit better price.
So guys, the new folks, thanks Brian, thanks Kim. So Bill, Travis, Daniel, what are you guys hearing from the experienced traders? What are you guys getting from them?
That the system taught them well.
The system taught them well, okay.
Well, basically, to put it in short, the system does its job pretty good. And as they're learning and they're seeing the patterns of the system, they're just finding ways to do what the system is doing, but just a little bit earlier, sometimes, not all the time, based on their probabilities to catch a trade and just make a little bit more or reduce their losses, because again, it is a system and it works as a pattern, but you can never change human emotions, which means when there's big traders, they might do something that they know that, you know, they might do something that's different, and the system can't read that because the system is only going to go through what it's taught to, which is a good thing, like, you know, buy through resistance or buy in a break of support. But, you know, the system can never read a pullback based on, a decision that a buyer makes. In other words, you know.
I love this. I love this. Daniel, you know, just amazing. You guys, I mean, you guys continue to just shock me of the way, the knowledge that you guys are picking up so quickly. Just great job, Daniel. Good job. Travis, how about you? What do you guys get from, what do you get from Brian and Kim? The way they analyze the systems, the market, and all of this.
I would say just not to rely solely on the system, but to still do your due diligence, still pay attention to what the market is doing. And the system is great, but not to just rely on it solely.
Very good, very good, very good. How about you, Bill? Because I know you guys use the system. You just started using the systems. I want to get your feedback from Brian and Kim.
Well, it's good to hear that these guys don't react real quick to the head fakes, you know, of the trend. And, you know, I've heard you say it, David. I've heard Kim say it. You know, you just got to let the trade develop and let it develop out. And it's good to hear people with real experience talk about their logic behind it and how they sat with something long enough to let it develop.
Very good, very good, very good. Boy, I tell you, you guys are, you know, Brian and Kim, you know, you guys, when these guys are talking, when they're watching particular trades, this is how we learn. This is how you guys are really going to learn, because they're trading all the time. Okay, they're trading all the time. Great job. Thanks, Kim. Thanks, Brian, for really sharing how you guys break down not only the markets, but break down the system, right? Break down the system so that you get your own style, right? So you get your own trading style, and when we trade, guys, we are constantly looking to minimize risk, minimize losses, maximize our gains. minimize losses, maximize our gains. So good job. Any questions for me before we leave? Anything else? Anything else? Watch Bitcoin, right? I want you guys to use, even if you do not trade Bitcoin, watch it as an example, right? We're in the markdown phase. Watch this level right here. We just got new support lines right here, right at 40K. Watch it. See what it does this week. All right. And again, watch these pairs, anticipate, right? These dollar pairs, guys, are the top trending pairs. They will not be there forever, right? There'll be another group, right? There'll be another group coming to lead, right? So we always want to be in the top trending pairs up in this area here. And guess what? They come from the bottom. They come from the bottom. By the time they get up here, if we're not in them, we're too late, right? We're too late. All right. So very good job. Brian, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your feedback. Thanks, Kim, as always. And I will see you guys tomorrow for the Q&A class. All right. So take care, guys. Have a great evening. Thanks for sharing. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys.